buttoning your shirt a bit, and then you have to like show the mark, and then they're like, yeah, that's a capital crime, and they execute you on the spot. I mean,
We'll simply execute them first. I mean,
But
you think
also,
mere guards are going to be
We
stopping
don't
us?
really need to go to the city. We can just sending spell them.
well,
wait,
also,
actually, good
you say
point.
that
Why?
the city guard thinks that, right? But like, this is the Thieves Guild. You think the Thieves Guild is about the bureaucratic paperwork of filling out specific instances that have occurred with dragonborns and new tattoos? Like, and come on. You think that they're gonna
I
know?
think they're going to get into even more trouble if they report it, because how would one reasonably get
Hey,
that?
Anlos, do you know anything about these dragon marks?
Anlos says, Dragon Mark, what?
Or whatever this weird rune is that he has burnt onto his skin or tattooed or whatever.
Anlos says, I still, no, I of course don't know anything about this. Like,
Insight check. Is she lying?
gotta ask Alf about it again. Go ahead and insight check. Anlos is also just like coughing a little bit there.
What?
Your insight check provides you no special insight. Seems like Anlos is not lying about not knowing about the thing she hadn't known about up until this point either.
Damn it.
But Anlos continues then saying just like, but Donnie. She forgot Donnie's name for a second.
Yo, what's up, homegirl? You ready for that hug yet?
Says, Donnie, what? But what was that? How did you dispel that magic?
I have no clue. All I know is I was sitting there and I got these like feelings of piercing through my body, and I was like, "Ooh, ow, that hurts." And approximately like a sixth of my total capacity for pain was met with that single blow. And then my response was just to flash on through the source of that pain, which is like this fog cloud of like these little pointy dagger things. And I did it. And then my staff was just all juiced up from it. It was all just like, ooh, Donnie, you slap that Tim boy across the face with me real quick because I'm ready for it. And then I don't know if you saw this, Anlos, but like he tried stepping up on me. And that did not go well for my man.
Strong
like,
respect's strong, right, Donnie?
Like, real respect's real. And like that man, he fake. That's all I can say. I lost. Like he ain't about it. But I don't know. If you want to take a look at this bad boy, you want to take a look at the staff that makes the man, here you go, Analyze. Because I'm curious if you could explain to me using your scientific methods as to why. Because I want more of an intuition-based approach, and I appreciate when people take a more analytical-based foundation in the understanding.
Too bad our resident weapon expert is currently making sandcastles.
Hey, listen. He's upset for the loss of Todd, and I'll be real. I would much rather making sandcastles than stabbing fools. But hey, whatever the process is that Merv's got to go through, I can respect it.
Anlos says, I don't really know much about these kinds of things. I can't really do anything else. Mervin's better at this.
I want to cast Detect Magic. Do I see a specific color of glow around the staff?
I guess so. Yeah, it's the same as before.
Okay. And while I have Detect Magic cast, do I see any, or Anlos, is she wearing like some magical artifacts or something?
Nothing new, and no. Like you don't see anything new with your Detect Magic, no.
Mervin, you can take approximately 10 minutes to cast a spell that allows you to identify objects. Can you not?
Mervin says yes. Yes, and starts casting Identify.
Oh, you wonderful. That sandcastle looks great. You got a drawbridge and a moat. Wonderful.
Bridge in the sack. castle.
While this is happening, can I like look around, see if anything was dropped during the fight when they teleported out? If they left anything behind at all?
Yep. The area is pretty clear, so you can look around pretty easily, and you don't really find anything new.
Okay.
Also, so while Mervin would be ritual casting Identify, Donnie's going to be sitting there just kind of thinking back to their time at the Thieves Guild and like his Know Your Enemy kind of scanning of rooms that he was there. Roughly, how many people does Donnie remember seeing when they were at the Thieves Guild? Like, were there like just grunts kind of scattered everywhere and there's like clearly dozens of troops overall, or was it like a pretty bare bones crew?
So you only visited 2 rooms in there. You visited
Yeah.
the main hall and and Brass's room, and overall, I think you saw like about 10 people
10.
in there. But you did take note that there's doors to rooms that you didn't check.
There easily could have been more people, but I saw at least a dozen maybe or so in total.
Yeah.
Yeah, but think about all those teleportation scrolls.
The ones that didn't work properly. Yeah, we want loads of those.
Yeah,
It didn't go that badly.
And listen, Janice, I'm not the best mathematician in the group, but I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get Todd back, 7. Mini Merv, perhaps, that's 8. We still have less people than I saw when we were there in just like one room. Like, that seems like a fool's errand, as the kids would say, to go by ourselves to try and take down an entire organization over, once again, I will remind you, was 300 gold. Like, this is not, they did not take like our entire inheritance and ruin, bankrupt us. Like, there was 300 gold. Like come
It's
on.
not the money though, it's the principle of the thing.
I have an idea that we could do.
What you feel?
If we knew the captain of the guard here, and we were to, one of us were to suggest that he order his troops to rain down hell upon a certain location, then he, as the commander, could order them to do that, and they
My
could, in
guess
fact.
That
is
is a
that
tricky
they'd probably evacuate by then.
It's tricky. Because you see, if the commander was in no immediate danger to himself, when you suggested that, potentially, one might say through a loophole, he could order everybody else to just go suicide out of the base and attack it full force. Because he is not in any immediate danger. So you might be right. I don't know. But
Well, I think Mort did have a point. If the thieves find out that they've been made, I mean, again, whole pile of teleportation scrolls. Everyone grabs one, and then they're scattered to the wind.
Well, by that same token, they've already been made by us knowing that where they are. They could just leave the moment we get there.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't feel like it's a good use of our time to go over to them. We can slander them ourselves. We can lay out a little message, we can send a message over to the Rat King through Mort's spell, and slander them like that. If you want their name to be sullied, but I think we don't need to concern ourselves with such lowlifes.
I'm with you, Fred. And you know what I also think? If we point out, listen, the Rat King from Stoneholm entrusted us to be his transportation liaison for this extra beautiful artifact. He is kind of a big deal, and he likes us and trusts us. These punks over here, when we were in Rydonia, my friend decided to get a body modification, and his body, his choice, is fine. Like, you don't got to get mad at Fred because he wanted to get a new tattoo, okay? And they came at us, and we defended ourselves. So if we go out in the future and somebody else is like, listen, we got a problem with you because of the Thieves Guild, be like, well, who you trust? Some punk racist in Rydonia, or the Rat King? Like, come on. Like, we have entangled with the Rat King, but that man, as far as I can tell, a pretty powerful force. Like, he's a big deal. Got some magic.
Very well. I guess I concede that attacking the guild may not be the best idea, but regardless, what do we want to do next? I mean, now that we've solve the immediate issue of Feared's oncoming disease, death situation. I mean, you feel good right now, Feared, right? Not
Yeah,
just...
I feel fit as a fiddle.
Yeah, okay. You
Oh,
don't
they're
feel tired.
really-
The sun doesn't hurt.
No, not at all. I
Nice.
could fight an army if I needed to.
So
Mervin says, suddenly says, well, actually, we could talk about Donnie's weapon.
I was wondering, but whenever you were done, I was waiting for you to chime back in. What
Mervin
did you
is
find
done.
out, my little half-elven?
Mervin is done and explains to you, that Donnie's glaive is still. You can now find it in your inventory over there. Yeah, it is still a +2. It was already a +2 before.
same.
So it is a normal +2 glaive otherwise, but the second paragraph is the new effect. I tried to write it in D&D rule wordings, but basically, so once a day, Donnie can just end an area of effect spell, so something that's creating an area of effect, and you gotta be in it, and then you can end it, and then your next melee attack still is a melee attack in terms of rules, but it just has a reach of 60 feet for that particular attack. You don't gain the reach of 60 feet just like that, but it's just for that next attack that you do, and you gain an additional 1d10 damage.
And so just to clarify, because in this past encounter, I was using my reaction where I only got one attack. In normal melee, if, let's say, turn 1, I take the ability, and I don't use my reaction before turn 2. And turn 2, I attack, and I have multiple attacks. Only the first one has that extra range and gets the d10, correct?
Yeah.
Sounds good. And I have to be in the spell to end it. I can't. There's no reach, even the 10-foot reach I would normally have. I had to physically be in an AoE. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
And does the spell need to be like harming or offense, like damage dealing in nature?
As it stands, choose any spell.
Okay, so I can
Any
cast
spell
Fairy
with an
Fire,
area of effect.
Fairy Fire on Donnie, and then he can absorb that.
Ooh.
Fairy Fire,
Is that AoE?
Yes.
Does it last
Yes.
more than instant?
Yeah.
Fairy Fire is
I mean, I
Fairy Fire is
area,
not
right?
not applicable to this because it's targeting several things in an
not
area. It's
targeting-
not exactly targeting the area itself.
Okay.
Okay, but darkness would.
Yes, darkness would.
Ooh.
And how
So I-
long can Donnie's glaive hold this extra d10? Does it expire at night, or can he, like, could I cast darkness on him now and then have him just like save that d10 for a rainy day?
So I think I was saying Dupe can answer. I think we could, but I lose the ability to. I can only use it once per long rest, and the D spell is also as effective as the extra D10. So preemptive loading of a D10 might be helpful, but I would wager stopping a mage could be more helpful to me as somebody who can't do anything else against him. I would just point that out. Dupe can answer that. I guess.
Yep.
You have specifics.
You pretty much answered it. As it stands,
I
you can
like it.
you
That's
can
awesome.
use it however you want. I mean,
Yeah.
that's up to you.
Yeah.
However you want to use it.
No, for sure.
All
for
right.
sure. Assassin Donnie who would preload his damage.
Will it interfere if I would cast a spell like Spirit Guardian, and there are 2 overlapping spells at one time?
Choose any.
Does he get to
spell.
pick one?
Any. So you just don't choose the Spirit Guardians then?
Yeah.
Unless you, for some reason, forget to designate Donnie as one of the friendlies, then Donnie might have a problem if it's a bit low on health.
See, Fred understands me. He's becoming a hardened mage or hardened battler in the front lines. He gets my plight now. Either way, I think so. I will just point out, by the way, Janice, if and I understand for you it was more the principle than the gold itself, but we also recently had a shopping spree that was cut short due to lack of funds. And if we're leaving the area anyway, we could always head back up north, clear a scout camp, and pick up some extra change from the deserter group that's north of town. I'll point that out. It would make up for the 300 gold we lost. Could be an option, but also, no one was about that life when I was mentioning it. So if you guys are still not about it, I'm fine. I would just implore you, if you are pro fighting the Thieves Guild, but anti killing scouts, ask yourself why that is. And just figure out for yourself where your moral compass lies. Because for Donnie, my boy, my big old... Also, how am I still big? How long does the large reduce last? Is that an hour? Am I just still a giant Donnie this entire time?
It's 1 minute.
1 minute? Okay, never mind. I was envisioning giant Donnie. Just like, reach within your soul and envision what your world is going to be. But either way, yeah. Just...
He may only be like 6 foot now, but he's still feeling 12 foot high.
Oh, my ego is at least a 30-foot minimum at all times. Like, listen. I grew up in a city of dwarves as a 6 foot tall, 500-pound turtle. Okay, like I've never really been oppressed when it comes to strength and size in my life. Okay, it's just how I work. Not to say I can't be surprised from time to time. Either way.
All right. Still, that leaves the question: what do we do next? We can just leave Verdonia. We can, I don't know. Do we want to head towards Farn Lawson, or how about we could go north towards Ligonia or northeast?
Well, I think it's only polite to say hello to Alf and make sure he hasn't been silenced.
Yes,
I think that would also be quite good. So maybe he might have some useful nuggets of information for us.
Absolutely. Let's go check on it.
Okay. We
head back to town.
Yeah,
right?
Head back to town.
All right. As you're heading back to town, you notice a small group of guards, 3 people, coming up to meet up with you. And as you're approaching, one of them just shouts out to you and says, "Halt right there."
By the way, I covered up my shoulder like ages ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donnie being in the front is just gonna say, "Oh, well, excuse me, fellas. How's your day going? What's up? What how can we assist you today?"
They say some guards on the wall saw a little altercation over there by the lake. What was that all about?
Oh,
well
yeah.
I can explain this because it's kind of odd that you couldn't understand yourselves, but we were attacked. I mean, if they saw the altercation, they could have seen that those guys came out of nowhere and then disappeared out to nowhere. They attacked us suddenly. I mean, it was very bizarre. They attacked us without warning. We were only defending ourselves. Surely your guard saw that.
The guard says, yes, but nobody attacks nobody without any good reason. So what did you do to make this happen?
We were a party of adventurers. We might have dealt with bandits, comrades of theirs in the past. I mean, here we have a guild charter. We're honest folk.
The guard says, we don't need to see your papers. Keep your distance. And just says, just tell me the truth. You're saying you might have done this or might have done that. What did you do?
Like I said, we're adventurers. We've defeated lots of bandits in the past. I don't know who everyone is allied with.
I don't know what specific action we took to initiate this conflict. However, yeah.
Everything we do is sanctioned by the guild, so we've never made a single decision without the guild's agreement.
No.
And how dare you think otherwise?
The god says, fine. But just to make sure that you really understand that you're not supposed to be causing such disorder in our city, I am going to ask you for a fine of 100 gold pieces.
Excuse me, you mentioned disturbances inside of the city. However, we were distinctly outside of city walls, the city borders.
The god says, I'm offering you a fair deal. Don't make me make it unfair.
Can I insight check to see if this guy is just asking for a bribe or something?
Sure.
Okay. 27.
Yep, I think it's
Maybe
pretty
we
clear. Pretty clear that yes.
Maybe we can haggle this a little bit.
Well, of course, we'll gladly pay the fine. Would you
know
take
if we
us to
will.
meet your commander? We can discuss this in person with him.
The god says, you clearly don't know how things work. Just give me the money and you'll be going along your way.
How about half the money and a good joke? Is that an option?
The god says, I'm warning you again. I'm being fair here.
Hey, I was
100
just-
gold now, and if you throw any lip around anymore, it'll be double that. So
Whoa. I was just trying to offer you something of potentially more value, which is a brighter day. Have a fun. Here you go, sir. And Donnie's gonna make sure we give away actually 100 gold, not try and joke.
Donnie, give him 100 gold and
No.
bronze.
I'm gonna give him 100 gold because I appreciate how to lay low, which is do not get the town's god off your side.
And
But clearly, all he wants is some hush money. Like, fine, 100 gold, shut me up. That's what I say. I'm gonna try to give him 100 gold.
I'd like to make a
friends-
mental note of his face and what he looks like, just so for future reference, you know.
sure.
And then, yes, we hand him the gold. Is he gonna let us go?
Yeah, the god says, looks it over and kind of quickly counts the money and says, all right, I see you understand how things work. Now, no trouble again, okay?
yeah,
Hey. No problem, brother.
You'd best hope not.
Whoa. And as we walk, Donnie's just gonna take Fred under his arm. Fred, listen. As we leave town, you could always suggest that he goes and professes his love to his childhood crush, or something of that effect. Like we can make that man pay in subtle ways later. But if we want it, I'm just trying to keep him quiet for now. You feel me?
I don't know. 50 gold and a joke could have been funny though. The jokes.
I thought that was a fair buy. I would like if I was in his position, I would have been like, you know what, sure. If you make me laugh enough, I'll take it. And if
You
I
know what
don't-
the joke is? Your job.
Oh.
Your life, you just forfeited it.
Heaven forbid this poor guy grew up in Redonia and wanted to protect his home city and thought joining the city god was a good way of doing that. But you're right.
I mean, one, he's asking for bribes. Two, he didn't help when there was a fight going on. They just stood there and watched.
Well,
Where
to be
if they
fair,
were really concerned about the peace, they would have intervened.
but they also that fight lasted a total of what, like 60
12
seconds total?
seconds.
Like they
12.
didn't have
They
time.
also
Well-
didn't come over at all or say
Like,
anything.
Like I don't know about you, Fred, but for me, it took me approximately 6 seconds to run forward and slash Tim in the face and absorb that. So we take that across everybody. I mean, they didn't have enough time to come help us out per se. Like they barely noticed. They were running out still. Like they were on the appropriate path. I don't know. Either way,
But yeah, the gods are going back into the city there.
You have a good day, sir. Have a good day. Let's just find our merchant friend who gave you the secret sauce recipe for becoming a Super Saiyan Dragonborn.
Yes, let's.
All right. So you make your way back to the city. Nobody else just stops you and tries to ask you for money.
Phew.
You make it to Alf's shop.
Elf.
And you enter, I assume.
I say,
Yeah.
Fred, lead the way.
The-
Like,
It's
You
not
know-
like been firebombed in the couple hours that we weren't here or anything like that.
No, everything looks normal.
Okay. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go
go
inside.
in. Yeah.
Yep. You go in and you find Alf in there, and Alf just looks up and is, oh, you're back.
Yes.
And you're still here, it seems. Looking at Frid.
Did you think something else would happen?
Oh yeah, I just told you to go drown yourself.
Alf says, well, like I said, I don't even know what this thing you had was. I was just guessing, so, I mean, anything could have happened. But I'm glad to see you're all right. Did it help?
Well, I've certainly can do some more stuff than I knew before. Although I don't think I have all the same abilities I had beforehand. I think it seems to have altered me on a deeper sense.
Alf says, that is strange. That is not what should be happening.
What should be happening?
Alf says, well, I mean, when it's normally performed, the end result is a dragon warrior. But again, I do not know what your friend had in the first place. Whether it was the same ritual as we had performed, or if it was somehow modified, or what. But again, I'm happy to see you're fine. Now, do you was there any physical manifestation of this?
Well, there was, yeah, and then I'll take off my shirt sleeve.
And suddenly snipers appear out of
Yeah.
nowhere and shoot.
We got him, boys.
Alf says, yes, a dragon mark. Yes. Let's see, and comes in and kind of looks at it closer and says, something's wrong though.
What do you mean?
Dun,
something's
dun, dun.
wrong?
Alf takes off a glove, which he's been wearing throughout this whole thing. Gloves.
Puts a glove on just to take it off dramatic.
Takes one glove off and shows on the back of his hand there's an intricate mystical marking on there and shows and says, this is what a normal dragon mark looks like, but yours, it is somehow corrupted.
What does that mean?
Corrupted.
Have you seen this before?
Alf says, well, yes, I have. There were many ways that a mark could get corrupted. Among them, just incompatibility with the ritual, or then it just meant that the person's draconic lineage was just very weak, or it could have been just magical interference. There's
Were
many
you thinking-
explanations for it.
Were you thinking impure thoughts while you were underwater?
No, I was thinking
Well,
directly of my mother. She's the source of my bloodline. I had faith in her, and through her power, I've become stronger.
So, does your mother's magic exhibit this chaotic nature too, or what type of dragon is
I-
she then?
Wow, she's blue, same as me. I mean, come on, you must have You must be smart enough to figure that one out. If I'm blue, then what color would she be?
Alf
I don't
says,
know. What if your
uh,
father was the blue one and your mother was white, and then you'd be like light blue or something?
But he's a dragonborn, and we met his dad, the beautiful musician.
Yeah, but did we really meet his dad?
I don't know. I had just joined the group, and his dad split right away. I was very confused. Didn't really know much about the guy at the time, but it seemed to me that he has a very brave father and a blue mother. Assuming that I properly understand dragon phenotypes, as we would call them in Stonehome, which is the genetic tree.
I'm just gonna interrupt both
Colors.
of them.
I don't know how dragon colors work. Blue's a primary color in the regular color scheme. Does that mean that it's a dominant gene? In which case, his mother's recessive other gene could have.
Is there anything else that you can tell us about the bard?
Alf says, Alf says, your mother is a dragon?
Yeah. I mean, that is what I said. Yeah, that is what my mother is, a dragon. Yeah.
Alf says, oh, well, that is strange, because if that were true, your draconic lineage would be extremely strong. This, what could have caused this then? If it's not that, again,
Well,
like, I suppose some sort of magical interference, or the ritual just was
Well, we took
incorrect.
all of the magical artifacts. We took them off your person before you attempted this, but
The only thing I can think of would be the weave itself.
exactly.
There have been problems with the magic weave, and the stronger the magic, the more likely it has been to go wrong. That's what we found and heard. So,
Alf says, oh, I heard that just as a rumor. I thought it was untrue.
no, we've definitely heard and seen results.
And
That would
felt them
suggest
too.
us.
I mean, those teleportation scrolls that we tried to use, they sent us all over the place.
Alf says, oh, well, I mean, people rely on magic every day. Why is the government not telling us about this?
Wow. I mean, one,
That's a
the
loaded
Redonian government, and two, it seems as though there's a whole web of lives going on.
Wait, but didn't we, when we talked to the wizard in his tower, he said that this was already a phenomenon that was being studied at the academy, right?
Well, so Wolfen Frick, Wolfen Tick, Wolfen Drick, he did say that. But to be fair, he's like one of the most powerful wizards in like all the land. So if only like 24 people knew about this magic mishap, he would be one of them. So I'm not saying that he's lying to us, but like the idea that other people have no idea about what's going on, like that, I don't know. That
But
tracks.
when he told us, it was like he said it was like obvious. He was like, we were like, oh, have you heard this issue with the magic? And he's like, oh yeah, well the sky is blue. I know that. I've known about this for forever. Who doesn't know about this? I mean, I don't recall him mentioning that this was a secret, or that we weren't supposed to tell people about it, or that this was some sort of controlled information. I mean,
I just
I mean,
believe
the
it's
weave issue,
out of our realm, really.
Yeah,
We're
the weave issues are more pertinent to higher order magic, higher level magic, which is why people like Woltenfritz would be able to understand, I mean, get affected by it personally.
Alf says,
lower-
yeah,
Because to him it's obvious,
Alf,
right?
Alf. So what did you say, Chick?
I said because to him it would be obvious, right? Like because he's so involved.
and he
Yeah.
also did the terrorism.
Alf says, Alf says, I suppose all you say is it makes sense, but it must just be. This is why I hate the Empire. They just don't care about us people out here. They should be telling everyone. Please inform everybody you know. of this. It is important for everybody if the magic weave is in danger.
When he says this line about hating the Empire, can I check to see, like, stealthily check to see if Anlos reacts in some way?
How do you stealthily check this?
I mean,
do you just are you just moving around like this
I
and
mean,
sort of
we're all like standing in this room, right? So I assume I can like look at her out of the corner of my eyes to see if she's like, does she like stiffen slightly, or does she like twitch? I mean, I'm not gonna like walk up to her and like stare at her and see if she flinches or something.
She's the worst poker player ever, and as soon as I hit the Empire is uttered, just, oh,
you see
oh, no.
you see no reaction on Atlas.
No reaction. She must be a very good infiltrator then. She's better than we thought.
No reaction, so has to be lying.
Yeah. Clearly, that whole ruse when we were trapped inside of the, or when we were visiting the rebels' camp, her nervousness, that was all feigned. She's just so good at acting. Okay, but
I have a question. So, as you have a mark, you must be a dragon warrior yourself, yes?
Alf. I forgot the name of it. Alf says, oh no, of course not. Dragon marks were blessings of the dragons, which we here in Bredonia we received from the dragons of old. Many have them, and they confer some minor benefits to most. Some inhibit stronger dragon marks, which allow them to do more things. But yes, it's a power that dragons seem to, or that dragons have had, that they may bless someone with a mark, and give them powers. Of course, this is all in the past because of
back in the 3.5 era.
because of the Empire, and the evils of the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Nani's just gonna walk up to Alf, take his hand, like, but the guy or the gal who gave you your mark, surely you could put in a good word for a friend, could we not? And just kind of like look him in the eye, like, is that an option? Is there anybody that you know? Is this do I have to hold my breath as well? I can hold my breath for an hour, so it's gonna be a while, but like I'll do it.
Elf says, these two things are. Let me explain to you. These two things are separate from each other. The ritual was a way for us to perhaps manufacture a dragon mark in a way. It was different. It was only a part of the ritual and its effects. In fact, I am surprised how similar your Dragonborn friend is still to what they were before. But the mark I have is one of my bloodline, and I inherited it from my parents, who somewhere down the line were blessed by one of the dragons.
So when you looked at Feared's mark, you were immediately able to tell that it had some sort of connection to chaos, some sort of chaotic energy, right?
Alf says, no, not. I don't know about any sort of connection to chaotic energy, but rather just that it is corrupt. It is incorrect. Like, if you look at my mark, it is beautiful and it's and intricate, while it looks like it is simply part of my skin, while Frid's mark, it looks bad. It looks.
Well, that's a consequence of putting your hand into devices, which you shouldn't.
And in my culture, we call this the sticker tattoo phenomenon, where Fred's tattoo looks like a sticker just put on the body, which in some cases is the preferred version of the tattoo. But that your integrated tattoo work isn't perfectly fine. But I happen to be a big fan of the supercharged S on my boy's shoulder he's rocking nowadays. So when you say the phrase that yours is better than his, I'm going to have to say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, good sir. I think Fred's new aesthetic is fantastic, and I am a fan of my boy's new look that he has been given by his mother with an appropriate level of strength in their relationship, from what I can tell. Saying he has a weak lineage. His mom was a fine dragon. He loves his mama. You leave him alone.
Alf is just like, excuse me. Yes, of course. I'm sorry. I did not mean to insult you, but
It's okay.
So,
It's okay.
Alf, is it possible to read these dragon marks? Are they some sort of runic script or runic language, or are they something else? If we were to find someone else with a dragon mark, could you look at the dragon mark and then immediately tell what type of blessing it grants, so to say?
Alf says, normally, yes. The dragon marks are often similar to each other, but we are talking about. Alf looks at Donnie and says, we're talking about the kinds of dragon marks I have, and Frid's mark is different. It is yes, it's different.
But still beautiful in its own way.
Well,
Alf just
as
nods.
long as it does nothing
Yes,
wrong to
yes,
me,
yes.
I'm content. I feel revitalized, fresh, and ready to take on the world. I could take on the Empire if I needed to.
Al says, well, I mean, I know that such aberrant marks manifest themselves in different ways. Perhaps at some point you will notice something. I would not take it as a pure blessing, as it is not as it should be. And the effects of a ritual were not as it should be. So I would monitor your health still in the future.
Remember the augury, Mort?
Yeah.
We did receive the result of weal and woe. So,
I mean, he did drown. It was that.
but is that really woe? I don't know.
If me not drowning is not real.
That does sound like
Not
whoa
work.
to me. I don't know.
But I mean, he made it out fine, right? Or that's the question. I mean, if I am, of course, not skilled at interpreting the whims of gods, but for me, the woe part of the augury implies that there is some sort of lasting negative impact besides perhaps the psychological torment that Fjord underwent drowning himself.
We're not likely to know if that is the case.
I'm not like some other people. I could handle it.
I
Maybe
would like
you
to
wouldn't
sort
be
of-
too fine without that diving mask, but I certainly am a better creature than you.
Alf says, Alf says, to sort of speaking to everyone except for Frid, just saying, please be on the lookout for your friend. Do look at whether there's any physical illness or any sort of issues with personality or memory or anything like that. anything could happen.
Yes, guys, watch me. Watch me as I destroy all the insects that come before me. They will all die under my foot.
Here, you're walking in the desert and you see a turtle that is flipped upside down. What do you do?
Well,
Yeah, Fred. What do you do?
well, does it look in any way similar to my compatriot here? Or is it just happening to be a creature beneath me?
There is a big difference between a turtle and a turtle, Feared.
Yeah.
I believe
But if
we
I
went
have
over
taught-
this.
But if I have taught you anything, it is that we are all brothers and sisters in this tree of life. And the lowliest turtle you see is as great as the grandest turtle you know. So therefore, take that as you will and act as you
So,
will.
what do you do, Feared?
He would receive the proper attention he deserves.
Hmm.
And he would no longer be suffering after our interaction.
Janice takes notes.
I would just like to add, I would just like to whip out the death list that I've been carrying and enter Frid question mark to it.
Yeah.
All right. Alf says, so anything else?
Wow. Unless you've got anything else interesting for us to know, such as where the Dragon Warriors may have gone, or where, if there's any we might encounter on our way further west,
Why are we going
east even, then
Alf says, I don't know anything about any remaining warriors, but yeah, I don't really have anything to add except again, if you are willing to trade that tablet you showed me last time, the offer still up.
we will take it under advisement.
We're not. I'm just gonna tell them straight up. We're not gonna trade it for it.
If we
Okay,
need the money,
well-
we could do it. But currently, we do not. So thank you for your time, and we will bid you good day, sir.
Al says, yes, good day, and keep the mark covered.
Wow.
The Empire does not like them.
I was going to keep it under wraps anyway. It doesn't shine as well as the rest of my beautiful face does. So, I'd rather let my dress sense be more prevalent than the source of my new power.
Alf says, yes, a Western fashion, yes. And doesn't seem to be too impressed by your clothing.
Well, I see what you wear, and right back at you, Buckaroo.
I'm just gonna usher everybody out. Let's go.
Mort's just like, let's.
All right. Well,
I don't think we should meet the who is it? Administrator person. I think we should just drop them a letter.
I think it was.
And- Remember the Dragonborn who we talked to before we set
Oh.
out to the temple?
I mean, we can do. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I personally would not like to go back into the big castle.
How about we send Mervyn? He met with the. He was there with me when we met up with the guard, and he can just say that I'm still not feeling great.
Mervyn says, no thanks.
Go on, Mervyn. You know.
We'll
Or is
just
there a
send them
different reason
letter.
why you don't want to go near the castle?
Mervin explains that it's just because he doesn't feel very present right now.
It's not all there. Well, okay. I think it would behoove us then to just get out of Redonia. I'm not sure where we should go next.
Would we be able to make it to the Beaver Rock Inn before nightfall or before?
Yep.
Okay. I suggest we do that then for the party.
Anlos says, look, I'm not feeling very well right now. I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling a little bit ill.
Is she
Maybe
actually?
maybe you could maybe you could go ahead and I'll catch up with you if you tell me where you're heading, so I know where to follow.
No. We can wait for you. You can lay down on the cart and rest up.
I want to see insight check. Is she actually sick or is she like faking it?
I can do a medical check.
But, like, I want to see
You're
if she's
dropping
like,
a lot of insight checks.
well, that's what my character is built around.
I mean, your insight, and in addition, based on you noticing that Amlos was coughing and everything, is that yes, it seems like Amlos is feeling ill.
Well,
Can I ask Anlos what her symptoms are exactly?
She explains that she's just feeling weak.
Right. Okay.
do you have a healing magic at your disposal, Mort?
I have magic that can cure injuries, but not weakness. Unless it's this, and then I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration.
Alice says, I still feel. I don't think it helped, but thank you, Mort. I'm sure just a little bit of rest will help me. As I said, I can catch up to you. I can get a horse and catch up to you on your way.
Well,
I'll just rest for a few nights here.
Well, I mean, staying an extra night, it's like afternoon right now, right? Staying an extra night in Redonia wouldn't be too terrible. How about we go back to the inn, rest there, see how you're doing tomorrow morning, and then we'll decide from there. See if your condition has improved or not.
Alice is all right.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we head back to our favorite inn.
The inn and not the tavern bar place, which doesn't have room.
Place where there's actually beds.
Yeah.
Robert's place.
Any place has beds if you just care enough. Like, it's fine.
I think if you don't care enough, it's really that point.
Sure.
Yep, you make it back to Robert's Inn.
Hello, pal.
What time is it?
It's still the afternoon if you're just going there.
Yeah.
Can we book a room for tonight?
Robert says, yes, of course, it's the same rate as always.
Ah, yes, then we will pay that rate that we both know the answer of what it is.
But if you want to say it out loud for bookkeeping purposes, then by all means, go free.
5 gold.
I can remove the 1 gold piece from your cart.
One.
Yeah. Okay, well, is there any shopping that needs to be done?
Not
Well,
for me.
we could pay a certain someone a visit, you know. There's actually two certain summons we could pay a visit to. The two Torchman in the market, or that guard, I say quietly.
Hmm.
Janice can get to beat up a member of the Thieves Guild. That for
I still think that
reasons?
laying low is more important.
Well, maybe the guard will come to us. I don't know. If he's the greedy type, he's already gotten some gold out of us. We'll
I
just
would love it if he came to us, especially if he were alone.
But from what I remember, the shopping here was pretty slim pickings anyways, and it's not as if we have a large amount of liquid cash to spend, so perhaps we just spend the afternoon relaxing.
I mean, we could definitely go shopping. There's certainly something I want to pick up.
Oh, what do you need, Feared?
Well, I don't know if I need it, but I feel like I could certainly do with something to help me use the magic from, and I just don't know if my instruments are gonna cut everything. So
So the skull of a defeated enemy, something like that you can like hold?
I don't know, but something to channel magic through, certainly.
Janice takes note, not averse to using skull as spellcasting focus.
I don't know if it would work, but
I'm just gonna hand him a dragon bone and say, "Is this gonna help?"
out of character, I need to quickly check what would work.
The dragon bone.
What would work is just an actual arcane focus.
Yeah, I thought it was just called that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I had to have something special as an arcane. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really like
Substitute this.
yeah.
Okay, so I just need to get an arcane focus. Okay.
Yeah. Although the thing is that an arcane focus isn't really necessarily like a particular item. It's more, what you use for your arcane focus. It's more, well, it's a gameplay mechanic more than
It's
an
so
item.
that it's so that you could it can be taken away and then you
but-
can't cast magic.
So I can just
You can
continue
cast.
my
You can cast
instrument?
magic without an arcane focus. But yes, I would say that you can, like technically, if we are being strict about the rules, you actually do have to have two different focuses because your bard uses an instrument as a focus.
I have multiple instruments if that helps.
No, it doesn't. If we are being strict, your bard uses an instrument, while you need an arcane focus, which is a different thing. So you would have to have two different things, and you would have to switch between them. But I think Frid can probably, during say a long rest, will probably be able to tap into some mystical knowledge and just scribble some runes on one of your instruments and use that as your focus for
Woo!
both spells.
Huge.
I want to talk to Mort in like a secluded corner and ask him,
This can't be.
"Hey, Mort."
I'm gonna try and get a wasp out of my room. 1 sec.
All right.
Perfect. Hey, Mort, do you know the spell, or as a cleric, are you capable of divining a creature's intent? Can you, I don't know, detect good and evil?
Wait a second. Yes, I can, but not right now.
Not right now.
Something to consider then.
Something
Yeah,
my
I
character
will.
would have heard, or
Nope.
No.
Donnie's gonna go ahead and at the same time pull Anlos to the side to be like, listen, okay, I understand you're not exactly a physical touch type of person when it comes to positive affirmation. Duly noted, I'll avoid hugs in the future. But here's what I was wondering. Could you possibly, by chance, make me twice as fast and twice as deadly for an extended period of time? Or potentially, as the kids would say nowadays, haste me? Is that an option? Anyway, is that within your repertoire? Because I have been a big fan of the fireball extravaganza that we got to see just earlier today. I was just curious because, like, knowing that you have such aggressive potential with your teleportation, your damage, I'm just curious, just so I can be aware. Is that an option? Because a big, strong turtle who were twice as fast. I mean, girl.
Anlos says,
you know some of that? No.
Anlos says, as I mentioned before, yes, I can do that, but probably not now. I'm just feeling really bad.
I don't need that right now. Like, don't you worry. You get your sleep, baby girl. It's all good. But like, I have a short-term memory problem, so I'll often forget the exact spells you have available to you in a given time. I'll try and write them down and take some notes for future reference. My apologies, Atlas. No, it sounds good. You know what? Have you ever had a turtle sing to you? You ever heard a turtle lullaby, perhaps? Because it sounds to me like you could use a good night's rest, and I think this could be the ticket you need.
Anlos says,
is Mort in earshot of this?
no. Anlos says, please. I can manage on my own. Thank you. I'll just.
I understand. You're a strong, independent woman. You don't need no turtle to help you out. I feel you. Appreciate you, homegirl. Donnie's gonna leave her. Go back to the...
Yeah. So during this time, Frid, you notice that Alice and Donnie go into a corner to talk. Mort and Janice go into a corner to talk, and Mervyn just wanders into a corner alone and cries about Todd.
Wow. People seem to not be appreciating me as much. So I look around. Is there someone else playing music in this establishment?
No.
Well, I don't need an invitation to start strumming away, and I am going to start strumming away and singing a song.
All right. You can roll.
Yay! Performance.
I don't. I was gonna say I don't know, like for what effect the role is, but I mean, performance roles you don't get them so often. So
Wait,
here we go.
Haunting.
Yeah, wrong instrument. I don't use it actively, but it still doesn't sound too good.
Everybody around you is just like a bit
and
awkward.
Because you can clearly see that I'm skilled at using the instrument. It's just a horrible instrument. It sounds horrible. It's like bagpipes, but no one in the room likes bagpipes. That's my take on it, at least.
Mm-hmm.
It's not received well, rather than it being a skill issue, because I mean, I think we all know Frida's got some musical talent.
Do we?
So,
I mean, a +10 modifier seems to be reasonably talented.
He still can ball though. It still look good sometimes.
Yeah, before we met the two of you, he would sort of force his way into playing for every single tavern that we ever was a part of. I mean, entered. So yeah, there's that. We know that he could play.
I mean, I tried helping him out with that first tavern we went to. There's one about it. I don't know. Either way. But Anlos, I can perform better than that. Okay, that's not the type of lullaby I'm offering. But either way, you have a good night, I'm gonna go over. Don's just gonna go over and try and help or assist Fred if he can, in terms of being a clapping, responsive, positive influence of an audience, to see if Fred can perform potentially any better than anything at all better than what he just did.
It seems like your aid does not seem to have any effect on the situation. You see Anlos produce a gold coin from a purse and give it to Robert and get into a room. And just leaves you.
Sure.
Okay. Well, is there anything we wanted to do?
Well,
Not particularly for me.
I mean, we've agreed not to inform the chancellor. I don't remember what his title was.
Vice Governor.
Vice governor.
Yeah.
What's
It
his
sounded to
name?
me like our plan was just to try and lay low, get some rest, and make our way down to Sovereign in the morning.
All right.
That's what it sounds
Yeah.
like to me. I don't know.
are we? Is the room that we booked on the first floor or the second floor?
Second,
Okay. Yeah,
as
no,
in upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wanted to, if possible, I would have preferred to have gone for a ground floor one so we could have cast tiny huts whilst also in safety of it.
No, you're getting the same room as you've had.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could still cast Tiny Hut though.
Yeah, until they like get a saw and comically carve a circle around the feet, and then.
But then
it
as
just
soon as it falls out, yeah. Okay. Well, all right.
I mean, I'm going to say that I'm gonna point out that if you tiny hut inside the inn, there's no gameplay effect of it, but you won't have the comfort of, you know, the nice inn beds.
Not even if I'm lying on the bed the same.
I don't know. I'm had with the
You
floor
can't-
and the
you can't
table,
fit-
so I don't even care.
Fit five beds
Yeah,
into a
not
tiny hut.
necessarily the others. I mean, I can be safe, and whoever's next to me can be safe if we're like in a double or whatnot. But who knows?
We'll
I mean,
figure
it
it
doesn't
out.
matter too much if I can be taken out from the bottom. If we're safe, we're safe.
Janice is gonna keep a guard anyways. I mean, not like the whole night, but because she just sleeps less and not as deep. Janice is gonna keep her ears sharp and, I don't know, listen for movement from Anlos's room, or is she in the room with us?
No, Anlos's room is on the bottom floor, away from you.
Listen for movement from her room, and
So you
listen
go
to-
like outside of your room and go and eavesdrop at the door.
No, just like from our room to see if there's like, I mean, not like.
You can't hear. You wouldn't be able to hear anything from your room if there was even if there was like a bomb exploding there. You would probably hear that, but
I'm
probably hear
talking
that,
like,
but you know.
if somebody's like dropping furniture or slamming doors, stuff like that.
Sure, yeah, something like that. You would, yeah.
And I want to pay attention to see if Feared like starts whispering in his sleep or something similarly ominous.
Must kill Janice. Stupid drow. Very ugly.
Do you whisper in your sleep?
Extremely rude. I don't think so.
Okay.
During the long rest, though, I would be carving those things that you said I could be carving into my instrument.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so all of you can take a long rest now. And regain your stuff.
So my temporary hit points disappear.
Yeah. Hold on. I forget about temporary hit points. They are temporary hit points. I think they go away during a long rest. Yes. Let's see. Or you finish a long rest. Yeah. So temporary hit points generally last as long as possible, unless the spell has a duration. Otherwise, it lasts until your long rest, or if you take damage and lose those hit points, which is part of some cheese builds in 5th edition D&D, where you can have certain characters kind of just throw out some temporary hit points on everybody and just wait.
Yeah. Where do you get temporary hit points from? I think there's like a heroism spell that grants them.
Aid or
Yeah, there's
something
some
is called.
spells, some effects.
Can you?
And I
So
think
like,
there's a
if you were to
necromancy spell.
like if you cast
False life.
false life over and over and over again, could you just continue to stack that on top of each
No.
other?
It doesn't stack. Yeah, there's you
False
can only
life
have like
only-
one.
It lasts only an hour, so it's not
Oh.
that long.
No, but if you could stack, then you could hypothetically say that your character is always just standing there, like pulsing false life on themselves every 6 seconds. And
Just
essentially-
being held together by necromantic energies.
No, but they hypothetically have an hour worth of turns built up. So 10 turns per minute for 60 minutes. A decent amount of extra hit points just sitting on them. If they just
Let's
OCD sit there and just pulse themselves with
let's just say that we are in 5th edition, the 5th edition of D&D, and also pretty late into the 5th edition of D&D, so I'm pretty sure any that bad exploits would have been ironed out by
they're
now.
gone. Fair enough.
I think the main exploits are like the ones where you can use expensive material components to forego long rests. I think you cast like Greater Restoration using an expensive diamond on yourself, and with certain warlock builds you can like end up converting sorcery points or doing something weird like that, but it costs a lot of money, I think.
And there's the coffee lock approaches as well. We can just change.
But anyways,
Either way.
Yeah, I heard something about 5.5 coming out soon. Do you guys know anything about that?
No,
I haven't heard
that
anything.
happened.
Nothing real, no.
It just might be something.
I don't think there will be a new edition of D&D for a long time. I think they're more focusing on the content and the expansion books.
They make enough money as is from what they've currently got. They don't need to make a new edition.
Well, the
How
only thing that-
often do they make a new edition? Like, what's the gap, generally?
Well, it depends. I mean, 5th edition. Hold on. 5th edition came out in like.
2016 or something.
No, it's
2007,
even
I
older than
think.
that. Hold on. Wikipedia says 5th edition is 2014. Okay, so it's not as old as I was thinking.
Yeah.
The 4th edition was 2008. 3rd edition was 2000. And then we go back to 89 for 2nd edition and 77 for 1st edition. So yeah, it's like a 10-year cycle
Give or take
about.
10 years.
Yeah. But anyways, you have long rested.
Wonderful.
So, how's
No.
Wake
everyone
up.
doing this morning? You all ready to set out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's
Here,
go see what
Can I try a spell on you?
on me.
Yeah, just to see if everything's okay.
What is the spell gonna do before you cast it?
It should, sort of, how do I say this? Check
It's
if
a
everything
divination.
is okay. It's a divination spell.
It's not like Donnie's approach to see if I had become
No,
a sturdier person, is it?
nothing. I'm not gonna hurt you, friend.
I didn't
That's,
hurt
I'm not sure if that doesn't sound too tempting, but go on. I'll permit it. You may do what you wish.
How do I whisper spell?
I mean, I already,
You've known
I
what
already,
you're gonna cast. right?
yeah, I know what you're gonna cast. But I mean, I will have to actually ask HJ, about it because we actually did not discuss it. I doubt that there's anything, but so yeah, I mean, you can just post it in the chat anyway. that's what I wanted to know.
So, Feared, are you feeling evil?
or good.
Does it say it determines your alignment? For the duration, you know if there is an aberration / your offense.
I mean, are you one
I
of those?
I don't, not to my knowledge, I am not one of those. Nor have I been. I mean, depends. Have I been consecrated or desecrated? I wouldn't know the technical ruling on that, but I'm going to assume no.
Your body
Yeah.
hasn't been desecrated by.
See, I mean, that might be a bit more subjective, but I would say no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a no on all of it then.
Curious.
That spell's very misleading in its title.
Well, you can find
No,
like shapeshifters and stuff like that.
It detects evil creatures and good creatures. So
No,
you know
but it detects this set of creatures. Doesn't tell you if they're evil or not.
No, but I mean, for example, the celestial is almost always good, while a fiend is almost always evil. Or pretty much like those are the types of creatures that are always going to be good or evil.
And an elemental?
Yeah, well, I mean, then it goes a little bit like
Yeah.
depends
it's
for
on
a
the
mostly
first
element.
level spell, it tells you a bit.
It's mostly like investigative, I think. Like, am I talking to a demon right now? Yes or no?
It's kind of like a Ouija board, but toned down a whole lot. But yeah, I would go to Donnie and say, let's go pay our ill friend a visit. Hope she's not done what my father did, you know? That would be very coincidental.
Absolutely. Let's go
So,
check
yeah.
it out.
I don't know if the rest of us come with, but
Yeah, we're tagging along.
Yeah. And Mervin's
Mervin's still crying.
Does
Bed-
Mervin like rebuild Todd or something in the background?
I don't know. We'll have to ask
We can
Kate.
ask her later. Yeah.
But I mean, you've already had a long rest when Mervin did not rebuild Todd, so I don't know. But yeah, you go over to Anlos's room and Anlos is dead. No. Anlos is there and just seems very, very ill and just says, "Oh, I feel even worse today. Go on without me."
we don't need to drown you, do we? I mean, a word for me.
Hey, Mort MC, Mort MD, can you get in here real quick?
I'm gonna try and see if there's she has a fever or any sort of.
Well, ask her first, but
We already know.
Oh. I don't know why my thing closed. No. Everything's breaking. Hold on.
Might in some
Hello?
way work to cast a spell.
I already tried lesser restoration. So.
I
Oh, I'm thinking more abstract.
I don't know what happened because like yeah, everything's weird.
Yeah, your internet cut out or something. I don't know. We couldn't see
No,
you suddenly.
no. Yeah, I mean it like it closed my browser and also crashed some other stuff. I don't know how, but it happened. Anyways, yeah, you were casting a medicine check.
What did the 16 tell me?
It tells you that Anlos seems to be ill. It doesn't seem to be anything too mystical or anything. It's just some sort of regular illness, it seems.
She's
Shall
got
we
the
take her to
plague.
the doctor then? There's a doctor here, remember?
Well, if Anlos is sure she's gonna get better by herself,
She doesn't know what it is. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it's not my work to be a doctor. I don't need to have such a skill set, but it's useful for others. So I say we do take her to a doctor.
or perhaps we could get a physician.
And then
to
they
come
start
here.
saluting her. We never know. Oh, hi, General Anlos. It's a pleasure to see you here. I'm sorry, but you're so unwell. We'll get you to the leaders.
You get the teleportation pad ready. Yeah, Anlos, we could take you to the hospital, or the healer's place that we visited before.
That was a different town.
No, there was a hospital in
No, that was
Lyvernia,
this
right?
time.
You know, the hospital was here. The healer was in a different town.
Yeah.
Anlos says, "Oh, I can make it there by myself. There's no need for you to waste your time on me. I can manage, and as I said, I'll just follow you. Are you going to... where are you going? Are you going back to Farn Lawson then?
Well, I think we're
By
planning on
Sarvent.
heading to Sarvent first.
And then who knows? But you can probably catch up to us in Sarvents. But can I try a quick spell to help determine your illness?
Anlos says, sure, yes,
Okay.
if it helps. If it helps.
So-
Hold on, I'm not actually in Roll20 anymore.
Let me check something as well.
But yeah, Anlos is also says just okay, I'll try to make my way to Sarvent if I'm not there within a week, maybe send me a message of where you're going next, so I know to follow.
I would like to cast a spell now.
Okay.
I would like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
Ooh.
And then start talking about. I'll ask Anlos, how do you think this problem happened?
Detect Thoughts is it's a conspicuous spell. You use your vocal and somatic components for it.
Yeah, I asked if I could use a spell
think-
to detect things.
Yeah,
She
I
but
asked
know.
Anlos.
she would know what spell you're casting, is what Dupe's trying to say, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not. Okay, fair enough. Then we will not do that in that case.
Again, I don't want a backseat game.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I know what you're gonna say, but
Okay. Yeah.
I'm leaving
Yeah.
that for now.
Okay. So no spell casting.
No spell casting.
So Atlas is just like, are you gonna cast the spell?
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic and see if there's any unexpected magical signatures.
There's
Nope.
none. We got that.
Well, I can cast it at will. I have to. It's like my prerogative. I just.
Yeah, whenever I'm about to ritually cast it, you just make.
Just gotta
you're just like,
flex.
nah, I'm gonna. Don't worry, I got this.
Well, I guess we'll get going then. If Anlos is so here and so insistent that you can handle everything by yourself. Are you sure you don't want us to put you on the cart and just quickly cart you over to the hospital?
Atlas is oh, I can manage. If I can't, I'll ask for some help from the locals. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm good with people, unlike some.
Hey. Well,
alright.
okay. If that's the case, then we'll be off. So I'd like to check over all of our belongings, make sure we've got everything, and then I say we set off.
Before we set off, can I search through our things to see if there's like anything unexpected, any like, I don't know, tracking charms or unexpected pieces of magic?
Sure.
Unexpected magic detected in bagging area.
Give me an investigation check.
Can I provide the help action?
Yes.
26.
So Frid and Janice just start patting everybody down.
T-pose, come on, arms out.
You don't find anything that doesn't belong. You also don't find any extra money that you forgot was in a pocket.
Oh, 100 gold. I assume we're out of earshot of Anlos now, or we're outside of the inn by the cart or whatever. I'm just gonna mention to the group, something's really wrong about this situation. How did Anlos suddenly get sick? Why doesn't she want our help? Why doesn't Mort's spell work? Mort, I think you mentioned at some point that your lesser restoration is capable of healing diseases, poisons, almost everything that's not some sort of extreme magical condition like petrification or whatever.
Blindness, deafness, paralysis, or poison. That's what lesser restoration is.
Mort knows also that magical healing doesn't, or that level of magical healing doesn't necessarily help against just your common
you could have a flu.
sickness. Yeah, it's not gonna
Flu
heal.
has evolved anti-magic properties.
Yes. Nobody ever developed a magic that could heal the flu.
They're doing all of this extra checking, can I pick up a stone?
No, you cannot pick up a stone. What do you want to do with the stone?
This.
Classified.
Yes, this.
What the
Whoa.
fuck?
That's a block of text.
Oh, yeah. Cliff of Warding is such a great spell.
Um, and what I'd like to set the condition for the glyph to go off is that an evil creature would be holding it in that particular. It will go off when an evil creature holds it.
That
it can
doesn't.
only move 10 feet, though, right? The glyphs of warding aren't mobile. Really, I think. I mean, you can prepare like stationary defenses.
Oh.
So I mean, you can't cast it on like a rock. It needs to be like a place, like you can in the middle of a corridor. You can cast it there, or it could be a door, or it could be a chest. It specifically says that the object needs to be one that you can close.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like a trap. That's the easiest way to imagine it, like a pressure plate or a trap door or something like that.
Okay, sorry about that.
So you don't cast it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, what I was thinking to do is if I could put it on the rock and set the condition for the blast to be an evil person picking up the rock and then give the rock to Frid, we would know one way or the other what he was up to, whether his alignment changed or not. That's it for above the table stuff from my side.
Okay, but seeing that Feared and I don't find any magical spy devices, bugs, or whatever, I guess we'll head out of the city and towards Beaver Rock Inn, right?
Yep. You don't.
Make
you
me a
don't...
note if we see that guard again.
You do see that guard again.
Okay, are we able to speak to him?
Yeah, they're at the gate. As you're about to exit the city, they are one of the people around there.
Are there
One or
multiple
how many?
guards?
There's well, guards, I guess is what you're asking about. you can see like four guards total right away. There's probably more in the gatehouse.
Let me check something real quick. Would someone be able to tell if you cast a verbal and material spell from 30 feet away?
Yes.
I think it's time to do a little something. So I am going to use something that.
Ah.
You're gonna use your sorcery points to cast some subtle spell.
Who said anything about that?
I
I
didn't.
certainly didn't say anything. I mean, maybe that is spot on, but I didn't verbally say that, and you wouldn't notice even if I did.
Janice doesn't know a thing.
Yeah. But I hypothetically do that and cast suggestion to that guard and say, give us all the money. Collectively give us all the money that the guards there have.
So you said you did use subtle spell on it. Yeah. Okay.
Can you put it up on chat?
I guess so.
So yeah. you tell the god to give all the money that the gods have there collectively.
Yeah.
The god says hey everybody, give me your money, put it up. We gotta give it to I gotta give it to my friend here. The
What did you expect would happen?
the other gods are looking at this charmed god kind of strangely and saying, "What are you talking about? Who is this?" And the god just sounds just like, "It's my friend. I need to give my friend money. They want it." And the other gods are just saying like, "What are you talking about? Get out of here! Do you need to go rest or something?" And then the god turns to Frida and says, they're not. Should I kill
Don't
them?"
worry.
Oh, feared. Have him swim across the lake or something stupid like that.
I don't think that would fall under the remit of the actions that I've asked, because I can't massively. My understanding is change the suggestion. I can't suggest give me the money you have on you, and then after that say go kill everyone in this bank, just because. So I'll say, if you can only give me the money on you, on your person, that works too.
The god says, sure, and takes their coin pouch and just hands it over to you.
Good job. Thanks, buddy. I'll remember this. We'll meet up again. Yeah, don't worry about it. I owe you one.
They just say, okay, good. Glad you're happy.
And yeah, let's keep on going through the gate if we're not stopped.
Are
we stopped?
No, the gods are looking at you strangely, though. They are just like, what's going on? Who is this?
Don't worry,
this
he's
person?
just paying me back.
I think there was a wager involved or something.
The gods just like scoff and they're whatever.
How long does this last?
8 hours.
Maybe
He's
we
gonna-
should go as fast as possible.
I mean, they're not going to catch up with a cart, even with us walking by it in 8 hours. It's going to take 8 hours for him to stop, and then I don't know actually if he just know. It doesn't say that he knows that he changes what he does. He just wouldn't do it any further. I'm not necessarily sure he'd want to take it back because he believes that giving me money in that moment is the right course of action. So I don't know if afterwards he would then change and want to take his money back. He wouldn't do it again in that moment, but I don't know if he then. It doesn't say that they seek repercussive actions, and it clearly does say that in many other spells that they do try to seek vengeance. But in suggestion, it very clearly does not say they seek negative.
It would be very
recompense.
difficult for him if he didn't know where we are, and he doesn't. So that's good. We didn't tell him.
No, it didn't.
But I would note that suggestion does not last for 8 hours automatically.
Does it not?
It's up to 8 hours.
Oh, yeah.
You suggested something that can be done in moments, so it's over.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Beaver Rock Inn.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to count how much money was in the coin purse.
You found 50 gold.
Fair enough.
Not bad. Probably.
I assumed it would. I was half expecting it to be like 13 or something.
Well, I mean, one crooked guard. He certainly has already extorted money from others. So Should I add it to the cart?
I don't know. Did Dupe or someone else take away the 100 from earlier?
I did, yeah.
Okay, I'll
then,
add the 50 back.
So you can add 50.
Ooh, 74.
Also, whilst we are journeying, can I read through Nipnock's diary? Just to pass the time.
Sure. What part of it are you reading?
I don't know. Just from start to back, as just casually, if there's anything interesting.
Well, if
Sure.
you're looking for reading material, I have some too.
There is interesting stuff there. Because again, hold on, I had stuff written down somewhere. But yeah, that was like 20 sessions ago when you just read the like ending of the diary. And never looked at anything else about it.
Kind of forgot had it, but you know, I see it every now and again. Remember, then forget.
Whose diary is that, Fear, that you're holding?
Oh, this was Nipnock's.
And who is this Nipnock?
A gnome, a scientist, a bit of a really evil, horrible person. Kidnapped a whole bunch of people, bent a whole bunch of kobolds to his will through fear. Was doing experiments with dead bodies and amalgamations of joining them together, and had dragon bones, the bones of a whole dragon there. That's how Mort got his dragon bones.
I appropriated, yeah.
Still not sure how good I feel about that, but at least they're being used for something.
Did you guys finish him off though? Last time you saw him before you took his diary?
Oh yes, he was
He
very
is
dead.
very dead.
Nice.
Wait,
nice.
but
And we then
you said
burned
he was
down the
a
cave.
necromancer. So how sure are you that he was like dead?
It's a fair point.
Well,
I mean, they say you don't know necromancy until you can explain it to your great-great-grandmother, but
we killed him. He was a frail little one. He was a bit hard to hit, but once we did hit him, he went down very easily.
He had an AC of above the table. He had an AC of 25 and 1 hit point in his second form, which we hit him instantly and he died because we rolled 25.
A warrior who,
Celeste.
Celeste. Yeah. Basically just cut that encounter short. And then we there was some I had some horrible encounter with some disgusting spiders. And we burnt that place down, so no one would be setting foot in there.
He didn't have a corpse the last time we met him, if that's what you're asking. I mean, we didn't have a pulse the last time we met him, if that's what you're asking.
Well, is this diary interesting?
I will tell you once I read.
So yeah, during the way you read the diary of Nipnock, or later Dr. Plague, who there's a lot of the stuff is kind of irrelevant, nothing too interesting, but you find out about like Nipnock's past, and my browser is still being really weird. But basically, Nipnock was a well-standing member of the Mages Guild in Thorn, but then at some point got estranged from them and discovered a way to drain a dragon's powers, and had created this alchemical setup that allowed him to drain a dragon. And he found this cave that was the lair of a small dragon who was already wounded and was in trouble. And then Nipnok was able to kind of trick the dragon by making it seem like he was gonna come in and heal it, while instead just sort of started draining the blood from the dragon, and just started like draining all of its powers, which eventually the dragon died, and then it shriveled up completely with all of its like essence being pulled out. And Nipnok goes into like mentioning all kinds of stuff about this sort of like using these dragon powers to be able to do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do, like having the ability to go and snatch those people from the surrounding villages through that. But there's no real details about it, so the diary unfortunately doesn't really help you in replicating those.
Too vague.
Replicating those abilities. But yeah, it also, you kind of see as you go through it sort of descent into madness kind of thing, where it seems like Nipnok was initially sort of just fine, but then started becoming less stable, apparently through the effects of these potions. Then eventually decided to start calling himself Dr. Plague and ruling over the kobolds who had been there who had been under the effect of the dragon. They were there to worship the dragon, but then Nipnok eventually took over the position and was the ruler over there.
Cool.
Disgusting little worm. Should have killed him twice.
But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. So nothing necessarily super relevant for right now, but who knows, down the line. If anyone's if anyone's interested in some mad alchemy, you can sell them a diary.
Mad.
Okay.
What time of day would it be when we reach the Beaver Rock Inn?
It'll be like evening times. Yeah, it'll be like evening when you get there. So, what is everybody else doing during the trip? Reading some.
I'm keeping an eye out and trying to like constantly like squinting and then like shutting my eyes, trying to get used to the sun, but mostly just being really annoyed by how bright everything is.
Donnie's just gonna kind of have this like outward vision, looking like he's constantly just kind of scanning his areas around him for any potential area of effects, with just like this eagerness, just like I'm looking for anything I can just like swipe my stick at and get some power from. Assuming he's seeing nothing, but that's just kind of the vibe. He's like appreciating his nearby environment because of that, but as a result, he's just like closely scanning and appreciating the road and all the little nuances of nature and any weird thing could be going on. So,
Actually, well, Donnie, if you want to play around with area of effect spells, I could cast some darkness.
I mean,
it would be interesting to see if I could cast darkness on a rock and then throw it to you, and then you can catch it because you can see through the darkness, right? Is that how you describe
I can. Well, I think what would happen is when the rock gets within 10 feet of me, I would all of a sudden go to like ninja awareness and like whoop and catch it potentially. Like that could be what happened. Because I guess because the darkness is like 60 feet, right?
Well, the disadvantage of my darkness is that it cannot be cast on something that's being held or carried. So
Sure.
ideally, the darkness is stuck to you so that you can utilize your blind fighting ability. But
Sure.
for that to happen, you need to get the darkness on you somehow.
Yeah. And we
So
can't.
either
and it can't be held or carried. And like a necklace.
while
is
I
something
cast,
carried.
so I can cast it on a rock on the ground near you, but then you have to pick it up.
As what some people might define as a free object interaction that I might be able to do once every 6 seconds, roughly, give or take.
It would be a free object interaction to, sure, I mean, you can catch it, although then you would have one hand holding a rock.
Could you just do it around like a small bit of rope and then let that drop and be like a necklace?
Or could you pick it up with your teeth down, or your mouth? You just like.
Or
Hold.
because I described my glaive as having that feather on it, could he cast it on the feather? Because I am holding a glaive, which happens to be adorned by a feather, but the feather is not technically